What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Katsunik here back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. It is now Friday, November 21st, 2025. Basketball plays today. Game tonight at 6:30 against Detroit Mercy. But we're going to talk about everyone's favorite team right now, the football team. Because Saturday they are going, and they're probably on the road right now, traveling today. They're going to Iowa to face the Iowa Hawkeyes. Trying to stop this, what is now a 7-game losing streak. It's just kind of built and built and built and built. And, you know, it's, they're out of chances now. I kind of wrote about this now. Bowl game's out of the picture, barring somehow they win these next 2 games and you get some weird stuff with the bowl. Again, you're talking about 0.5, 0.4% chance, if that, of that happening. And obviously that goes out the window too if you lose this game, which we'll get to there, but probably will happen. Score prediction will be down the line on this one. But first we'll have to break this game down, just kind of talk through the 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams for both of these sides. But I guess we'll kind of talk about it in the terms of when Iowa has the ball, when Michigan State has the ball, and then kind of special teams. The mismatch in this game is going to be when Michigan State has the ball. Just because Iowa's defense is really, really, really good. Michigan State's offense has been pretty bad. Hasn't been a Aiden Childs problem. It hasn't been an Alessio Milivojevic problem. He's going to start almost certainly because Childs is still kind of working his way back from the foot injury. Was at availability on Wednesday. I think I saw him again with the boot on his left foot. But alas, it's going to be Milivojevic. You don't need me to really tell you that, given that he started the last 2 games. And I think he's done well, especially in that Minnesota game. Did really well. Not as great against Penn State, but again, I think a lot of it's an offensive line problem. They have not protected him well at all. 12 sacks in 2 games. I think they've allowed. Yeah, it's not been the protection hasn't been there, and now you're going up against an Iowa team that has one of the best defenses in the country, 6th in total defense and 8th in scoring defense. They're allowing 14.3 points per game, allowing about 260 yards per game. Again, top 10 in the country. They played some good teams too, and they're not allowing too many points. In their losses, they've lost 4 games this year. All of them were to teams who were ranked in the top 20 of either the AP or the CFP ranking, whichever one was considered the important one at the time. In their losses this year, they allowed 16 points, 20 points, 18 points, and 26 points. Yeah, that's kind of Iowa football for you. They've had good scoring outputs. They scored, we'll kind of skip 34 against Albany and 47 against UMass, who may as well be an FCS team. They put up 38 against Rutgers. They put up 37 against Wisconsin, who I haven't looked at Wisconsin early this year, but I'm pretty sure they have a good defense. 25 against Penn State, 41 against Minnesota. MSU only had really 17 if you exclude overtime. 16 against Oregon, 21 against USC. So, yeah, and again, we're talking about a Michigan State offense that has not produced just straight up during Big Ten play. Not since the USC game, where again there's been some garbage time touchdowns that really inflate their numbers as is, and even the numbers aren't very good. Again, 31 points against USC, 27 against Nebraska. Even that's inflated because I think it was 3.5 yards per play in that game, and ever since. 13 points against UCLA, 13 points against Indiana, 20 points against Michigan, 20 points in overtime against Minnesota, 10 points against Penn State. That was a season low. That could be challenged in this week against Iowa because, again, you're talking about an offense that is now 90th in scoring and 108th in total offense against the top 10 defense. We've kind of seen Michigan State play to the best defense they've played is Indiana. They scored 13 points. They actually moved the ball well in that game. They just weren't able to finish drives. That's been several games, really, to be quite honest with you, where I'm like, oh, they kind of have a drive going, and then it's like they cross the 50, and it's like a switch. It just hits the offense, and they can't move anymore. That was kind of how it was in Penn State. I thought that they had, I don't know how many drives they had that got at or around the 50-yard line, but it seemed like they had some good field position at times, and they just never capitalized off of it. And again, their only touchdown was the first play from scrimmage 57-yard run by Elijah Tolliver. Pretty much nothing after that from the offense. So when Iowa has the ball, you're kind of talking about bad offense against defense that's getting better, but still has statistically not amazing. Total defense 69th, but still 113th in scoring defense, allowing 31 points per game. I think part of that, though, isn't necessarily their fault. There's been some poor special teams at times. I think a punt got deflected against Penn State. Eckley's still a great punter, but often when the offense sometimes doesn't move the ball at all, like sometimes they're punting from deep, so there's only so much Ryan Eckley can do for you in that regard in terms of flipping the field. So, yeah, again, special teams, though, is always going to be a big thing when you're playing Iowa. Eckley's going to have a nice game. And other things about Iowa, though, is they have a good kicker with a big leg. Drew Stevens, he hit from 58 this season. I don't know if MSU's hit a field goal from beyond 50 this year. I don't think Connington's done that. His lawn's in the 40s, I think. Don't know for certain on that, though. Don't quote me on that. But they also have a really, really dangerous kick and punt returner. Caden Wheatgen has one kickoff return for a touchdown, I think, and 2 punt returns for a touchdown. I might have those reversed in my mind. But he's housed three special teams plays this season. And again, that's a great season already as is, and he's still got at least 3 games left. I was going to a bowl game to build off of that. So punt coverage, kickoff coverage better be A1 in this game, or Wheatgen, that could be 7 points on the board just like that. But Iowa's offense, you know what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball. Gronowski I still think Gronowski can be, if he didn't play for Iowa, could be a pretty decent quarterback, but he plays for Iowa, though. So I don't even know if he's past 1,000 yards on the season. I'm trying to pull up the stats right now. But they're winning games. It's just like you always kind of laugh at Iowa, like, haha, they play a funny, pass, like, a play style. Okay, I apologize. He's at 1,200 yards, which still, in 10 games, not a lot. But still, you can laugh at it, but it's like, okay, they're 6-4. Michigan State's 3-7. So, but Gronowski was a really good FCS quarterback, won some national titles, I'm pretty sure, at South Dakota State. So again, he's a guy who can, if you let him burn you, he can. So, but the main concern though for me is Michigan State's offense against Iowa's defense, because that's just a total mismatch. Statistically, chances are Iowa's defense is going to have its way. You still. Milivojevic has looked good, but this is going to be his third start. It's probably going to be the first really hostile environment he's going into. He looked good in that game against Minnesota, but I don't really consider Minnesota to be one of the better atmospheres in the Big Ten as far as going on the road. But Iowa, Kinnick in November, yeah, that's going to be a bit different. It's going to be sold out. People are allowed there. People. I do like Iowa fans. I'm a fan of Iowa's fan base. I went to the game when Michigan State basketball clinched the Big Ten, the complete Big Ten title last spring, early March probably, maybe late February. Arena was not full, but the people who were there were loud, because Iowa looked like it was going to win that game for a bit. I think MSU was down by 16, something like that. It was a bigger deficit in that game, and it was loud in there. It's just one giant bowl at Iowa's basketball arena, but I like Iowa fans personally. Again, they have the wave tradition. I certainly hope to see MSU participate in that. I don't doubt that they will. Again, Jonathan Smith as a person, he seems to be like a really nice guy. Things don't seem to be working out here, but again, just as a human being, I have no issues with Jonathan Smith. But still, you're putting a bow on another tough season, though. You're looking at 4-8 probably at best right now. I'm going to pick Iowa to win. I've kind of been leaning towards this the entire time here. As far as the score goes, though, you're probably looking at your traditional Iowa football game where Hawkeyes control it. I don't think MSU's ever truly in a position to go take this game, because I think Iowa's one of the 25 best teams in the country. They're not ranked like it right now, but given who they haven't beaten anyone necessarily impressive, but they haven't allowed they've played some really good teams, and they haven't, just let it get past them. They haven't been blown out of the water by anyone. They've played Oregon, they played USC, and they were close to beating Indiana as well. And a lot of teams can't say that. It's weird to say though, because again, traditionally Indiana football, but they might, after Penn State, they might have been the team that's gotten the closest to actually taking down the Hoosiers this season. So. As far as the score goes, though, again, I think you're looking at a game of the lower scoring variety, and probably the lowest scoring maybe of MSU's season. I don't know what the over/under is on this game, but it's probably below what I'm going to predict is probably below what the line is. I'm going to probably go. I'm not going to pick a lot of MSU points. I know that. We're going to go with Iowa 24, Iowa 27. Michigan State 10. I think that's what I'm feeling in this game. Another tough game for the offense, playing a good defense, and Iowa just maybe they get a big play on special teams, and the defense again. I think this might be a 2.5 quarter game. Defense does the job to kind of make you, maybe keep you from flipping the channel at halftime, but then things kind of stray away from them in the third, and then the hammer gets dropped in the fourth. That's happened a couple times now this season, and during the Jonathan era in particular. I mean, there's been several games where I've walked out of where it's like, I feel like I've seen that game play out several different times. Kind of get the feeling it's going to happen the same way here in this one. Again, though, we'll see what happens, though. Until then, though, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or on YouTube, thank you, though, for listening and listening to me talk about this stuff. Keep checking on all of our written content, of which there will be plenty of at SpartanNation.com and Michigan State Spartans on SI. Until then, though, I'm Jacob Katsanika. I'll see you guys around.